47 coming out of the sky. Won't you take me down to Memphis on a midnight? No. It's the morning news. AM 1280, FM 99.3. Alice Cooper is singing about getting elected. And we continue. There's got to be a better election song. Yeah, it's a little harsh. And a little old for that.
A little old, thank you.
And neither of those describe our next guest.
That's right.
As mellow and young as they come, right?
District 4 candidate interviews continue today with Tony Williams. Good morning, Tony.
Good morning, everybody.
Good to have you here, Tony. Thanks for coming in.
Yeah.
Thank you. I'm delighted.
Yeah, well, Tony, tell us a little about yourself. Time in the Valley, work, what do you do, your family? Give us an overview.
Man, I tell you, I've been here all my life pretty much. I'm just proud to be a Yakima citizen, born and raised here in 1967. In fact, I was born in my district.
Oh, that's cool. All right.
St. Elizabeth Hospital. How many people remember that?
Hey, right on. That's where I was born, man.
Yeah, so we know, man. I'm homegrown here. And
St. Elizabeth, yeah.
St. Elizabeth. And looking at that, I went to school in Yakima at Davis, District 4, Franklin as well, District 4, my district. Once again, so done a lot of good history here.
What do you do now? Yeah, tell us.
Working with the Yakima School District in-school intervention program, which is a great program written, funded by a grant. Dr. McHenry, stood in the gap and did that for us. So that was really good. It benefits this city.
And what do you do? I mean, exactly at the school district, what do you mean by that?
Yeah, I'm a mentor, basically.
Oh, cool.
Yeah, what they've done is they've shifted the emphasis from suspension to intervention, so it allows us to intervene with the kids and get those guys on the right track and, give those the tools that they need in mentorship versus suspending them and getting them in trouble, that type of scenario.
So if they're acting out, they get to meet you, and you get to show them a better way.
Exactly. Right. It's our way of life. Okay. Yakima, Washington.
That's cool. All right.
The good things.
All right, so the next question we ask everybody is that since you've thrown your hat in the ring here to run for council, what is your understanding of the job of a councilman? As I have done my time and met a ton of people in the process, most of them have a misconception about what it is that a council person does. So just for the people out there who are curious as to what your understanding is, how would you describe the job of a council person?
Yeah, and it's really broad, but one of the things that we are responsible for is the ordinances, writing ordinances and policies, and making sure that those reflect for our community. They're good for our community. Those are the things that are pretty much our top-notch priority. But the thing that that's also important with that is to be the voice of the people, being a spokesman, being an advocate, and being a servant. And that's what I'm all about. And that's where my history is. When we talked about history a little bit earlier, you said, what have I've done? That's what the Valley has taught me and invested in me, those type of tools. So I'm here to give those back to this community.
And I take it the next question, in a sense you probably already answered it there. You had to give back. Why are you running, Tony? Tell us why.
Yeah, exactly that. I have a strong commitment to Yakima. I'm being born and raised here, but I love the people here. I mean, if you really look at it, we have a rich history of a lot of things, a lot of great people here, and I have the ability to bring those people together and to help them to play a very important role in Yakima and being in the development also in Yakima. So I can put those relationships together. That's why I'm running, to help to steer the city in the right direction.
Which maybe even answers our next question, which is about skills and abilities. It's interesting. The list of qualifications to be president are what? Be a citizen at 35.
Yeah.
Let it rip. Anybody can go. There aren't. There's no big vetting process, or you've got to be able to do this, that, or the other thing you have to know about wastewater or transportation. There's no qualifiers like that. So what skills and abilities do you possess that you think would make you an effective council person?
I love all people, and that's the main thing. You've got to love all people to be able to serve in this capacity, because you're going to get the good, bad, and the ugly, and you can't get emotional about that. You've got to, stay solid, and you can't move on it just because, you're pushed towards one way or another. And so that's the thing. One of the things I bring to the table, not allow my emotions to override good decision making. Not getting, doing something for another group that I wouldn't do for another. I'm always looking out for the best interest for everybody. And, people talk about, how are you going to listen to the people? That's always, we're going to listen to people. Well, the way you listen, you can't listen to everybody, but you do have to listen to everybody. If you were to do something and you were going to talk about, let's say, infrastructure, I would listen to you if you knew about infrastructure. But if you didn't know about infrastructure, I wouldn't talk to you about infrastructure. So a lot of times we say we're going to listen to the people, but then it's thrown into a box that, well, you can't listen to everybody.
A lot of people who don't know infrastructure have opinions they want to give you about infrastructure.
Yeah, that's my point. Exactly. And so that's where I have the ability to pick the people that already have these giftings in our community that are smart to bring their ideas to the table and put those on there because, again, I'm a spokesman, advocate, and a servant for this community.
Right on. For guys that like us that have been here all our lives, this next question, it would be tough for me to answer, so good luck. What's the best thing about Yakima?
The people. I mean, it's dynamic. I mean, you look at we have a rich history of a lot of good people, and it's a city is just like a sport, and it's easy to play a person out of position. You got to play them in the right position and put them in the right position and make the right things happen. So a lot of times people are played in the wrong position or they don't get to allow their giftings to flow, and that's the thing that I have the efficacy of discerning to see what your talents and your abilities are, and then putting you into a right position to make a contribution to our city.
Well said. Two sides to every coin with the greatness that Yakima has and has before it. We also have challenges, things to overcome. Give us a couple of the bigger challenges that are facing us that a council person might have to address.
I think the biggest thing right now is to ensure that with this ACLU deal is that we don't take this as a racist type of scenario with the representation piece because it really is. Because of the nation, the way the nation is set up right now, we're really off balance. And so it's important for me to be that peacemaker to really just set the right tone for what that really looks like. And that's a big issue right there that really needs to be addressed because at the end of the day, we're all trying to get to a better place to make it a better Yakima. And that's one of my skill sets.
Tony, some things in motion in this city. Just get your take on these things.
Sure.
First of all, what's your take on the downtown proposed plaza?
We need something like that. I can tell you that, there is other opportunities for the different plazas and the different looks out there. We need a game changer downtown. Not saying so much that would be the particular game changer, but we do need something like a plaza downtown. I mean, it's an amenity that will be here forever once we put it down. And I know a lot of people look at the $14 million, but if you look at the $14 million, over time, it's not really that much of an investment. It looks like a very big piece of money, but it's really not. But we do need something down there. We need a lot of things in our city, not just downtown. So that's I'm going to help try to drive that.
The retail ban on marijuana. You support that?
Well, this is what I do support. I support that it is a great opportunity to extract that revenue from that. I mean, we have a great law enforcement here, so we should let the law enforcement police the issues if it gets out of control. But what we should do also is take advantage of the tax resources for that because that increases general funds. That takes care of, different districts and different problems so that we don't have to tap into other funds to do that. So we need to be aggressive and let that flow. I think that we have smart people to be able to govern that.
Public art. How do you feel about public art?
I love public art. We need that. I mean, that's just part of culture. It's rich. It's history. It's creative. We need every aspect of any type of scenario that would promote, and open up opportunities like that for our kids. We need that for our citizens, and we need to invite that.
I guess you can, since you've answered this, but since a city's role in economic development,
it's a big role. We need to be able to give our economic departments the tools that they need to be successful to be able to drive that particular, that sector in our city.
Public safety.
Public safety is very important. I mean, we have to give everything that we can give to public safety without a doubt. One thing that I would do is propose a curfew.
Well, you're the man that talks to those kids. Sound effects. Sound effects. That's first. A curfew, really?
Yeah, because right now the kids could be out of control just because of the size of times. They haven't really had the programs right now really to govern their behaviors. So right now would be a great time to institute a curfew. Once they get that out under wraps, their behaviors, then we can extract that. But that's just one component of public safety. There's other places that we need to touch to there, but I'm a big proponent of public safety, and I'll do everything in my power to make sure that we have the most safest city in America.
One of the things that make this particular election so unique is that all 7 seats are up at once by way of Judge Rice's decision. The old system used to be the at-large positions up, and then 2 years later the district positions would come up, so you'd either be voting for 4 people or 3 people every 2 years. Now we've got 7, and you'll only vote for 1 person, each person in the district. Everybody's in a district, so one set of candidates on the ballot. Would you have run had there not been a redistricting, Tony, do you think?
Yeah, I would have ran. I ran 12 years ago. I was blessed to run against Dave Edler, made it to the general election in Yakima, Washington, in District 2, which is now District 4. So I'm back to my district again. I've never given up on my district, never given up on my city, and I'm back.
What's your understanding of what might happen? This is one of the reasons for the stay. The request for the stay was that if Texas case is taken up by the Supreme Court, and it has now been, and if the Supreme Court rules that way, it could, in essence, undo everything we're doing right now. And so some of us thought, well, wouldn't it be best to, status quo until we know, and then we can go full speed ahead with whichever way the final decision was going to be. Do you have any thoughts on what happens this time next year if the case is, overturns Yakima? I mean, you'll be the shortest-serving councilman in history, possibly, or you'd be part of the new world order for Yakima. Any thoughts?
Yeah, I do. I believe that if it was to operate like that, I could get a lot done in a year. I'm built to do that. But I would throw my name back in the hat if they restarted it. I'd do the process over and over again. Again, I've never given up on Yakima. I love this community. I love this valley. I've been here for 48 years. I'm ready to rock.
He seems like a hit-the-ground-running kind of guy, doesn't he, Lance?
Yes, it does. Oh, great stuff. Thank you, Tony, for coming in this morning.
Yeah, thank you, too.
If there's one thing that you want people to know about you, you got the last word here.
30 seconds.
Yeah.
Just like you said, there's good candidates all throughout. Do your due diligence, do your homework, look at everybody. Don't vote early, because it's gonna be a lot going on between that time. Mm-hmm. Vote at the last minute, learn your candidates, and you just got good candidates, and I'm one of them. And I hope at the day I'll be the man, but I'm here to serve. I'm here to serve this community.
That's Tony Williams. Thanks very much for your time.
Thank you.
Great to see you again. And should you move on, we'll be happy to have you back and chat in a little more detail.
Perfect. Thank you.
Great chance to meet a very nice young man and a man who's ready to serve. Tony Williams. Appreciate it. Fox News is next. Stay tuned. It's the Morning News.